Welcome back, dear students. In this video we are going to study about the last event which takes place during the sexual reproduction, that is the post fertilization event. Post fertilization event. So that is, after the fertilization, what are the changes going to occur in the organism or during the development of the embryo, that we are going to study in the under this topic, that is the post fertilization event, the event that takes place after the formation of zygote constitute the post fertilization event. So in a definition, post fertilization event means the events that takes place after the formation of zygote constitute the post fertilization event. So after the fertilization, the male and female gamete will fuse together to form the zygote, and that zygote, after the continuous mitotic cell division, it undergoes the tissue system, and then it will form into an organ system. So that after the zygote formation, after the developmental process until the birth of the new one, that process is called as embryogenesis. So these two topics will come under the post fertilization event. That is, the first one is the zygote formation and next one is the embryogenesis, that is the development of the embryo. So let us study first with the zygote. So zygote is the result of the fertilization. So fertilization means that is the fusion of the male and female gamete. It is called as syngamy, and the process is called as fertilization. And this fertilization, it will be that is the after the fertilization, the zygote will be formed, and it will be in a diploid cell stage. So all the zygote, it will be always in a diploid cell stage. So if the fertilization takes place externally, the zygote is formed in the external aquatic medium. So in last class or last video, we have discussed about the types of fertilization, that is the external and the internal fertilization. So external antandre, that is outside the fusion of male and female gamete, that is the fertilization which takes place outside the female body, that is called as external fertilization. It usually takes place in the aquatic habitat, or the aquatic medium. So here, if the fertilization takes place externally, then the zygote formation will also be in the aquatic medium, that is external to the body, female body. And if the fertilization takes place internally, then the zygote formation, it will be done, or it will be formed inside the body, of an organism, So external fertilization ಆದರೆ the zygote formation ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, it will be outside the body, that is usually in the aquatic medium. And internal fertilization ಆದರೆ that zygote will be formed inside the body of the organism, that is inside the female body. So that is how the zygote will be formed. That is, soon after this male and female gamete fusion, the first cell which is formed, or the first life cell which formed, is called as a zygote anta kariti. So in few algae and fungi, the zygote soon after, that is in few algae and fungi, the zygote, soon after the formation, it forms a thick wall. thick wall around it. So to withstand with the adverse condition of the environment, that is ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಸುತ್ತ ಒಂದು thick layer formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and this thick layer will helps to withstand this zygote because it is in a aquatic medium. The algae and fungi, it will releases the uh, spores, that is the gametes, it will be released into the water body. So there the fusion of the male and female gamete takes place. So at that time the fusion, the spores ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, that will be formed with the extra layer, extra coating ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is a thick wall which is around that zygote, and it will helps to withstand in the adverse condition because this zygote has to undergo the further division for the development of the new algal organism or the fungal organism. So until it get the favorable condition, favorable environmental condition, this zygote or the spore, it will withstand in the same condition, andre dormant stage ಅಲ್ಲಿ without any metabolic activity ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹಾಗೆ stagnant ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. This what thick wall layer which will helps in the resting period. So resting period ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ when it gets the favorable condition, it will detaches its thick wall and it will undergo with the further development. So in that way the zygote is a link which ensures continuity of species between organism of one generation and to the next generation. So it is a main link. The ಒಂದು zygote formation ಆದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ further development ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ, otherwise it cannot be taken place. So in that way the zygote plays a very important role in the continuity of the species between organism of one generation with the other generation. So usually ಎಲ್ಲ sexual reproduction reproducing organisms ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ we can see the zygote as a first cell, first single cell life in formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ that is the zygote. So this is about the zygote formation. So zygote formation ಬಗ್ಗೆ. So next step, soon after the zygote formation, it will switch on to the next step, that is the embryogenesis. So embryogenesis means the development of embryo from zygote is called as embryogenesis. So soon after the zygote formation, the zygote will undergo the mitotic cell division, that is the mitosis, which is a equational cell division. So it will forms the equal number of cells at each cell division so that it forms a tissue system, and this multi-cellular tissue system will further undergo the organ system. So the tissues will group together to form the organ system, and finally the organ system will evolve into the new individual. So this is the process of the embryogenesis, that is the zygote. Soon after formation, it will undergo the mitotic cell division and it attains the multicellular stage. The cells will undergo the differentiation. So some group of tissues will undergo the differentiation to form the different organs, and finally it gives one picture or a complete formation of the new individual with different organs. So this is about the embryogenesis, usually takes place in both animals and the plants. So let us see first in plants how it takes place. In flowering plants, so in flowering plants, this is a flower where the fertilization has taken place within the female flower or female reproductive structure. So this is the gynoecium part, and in this gynoecium part, the carpel is the unit, and within that carpel it consisting of number of ovules. So here I have shown only one ovule. Within this ovule, the fusion of the male and female gamete takes place, and this male and female gamete will fuse to form the zygote. So this is a single ovule, and here the zygote has formed, and this zygote will undergo the same type of cell division, mitotic cell division, to form the embryo. So soon after the embryo formation or during the embryogenesis process, soon after the zygote formation, this sepals and the petals will fall off, so that the embryo will starts to develop within the ovule, and ovary will be attached to the plant body. So this zygote in plants will develop into embryo, and ovules will develop into seeds, and the ovary develop into fruit. So this fruit, which is having a thick wall called as a pericarp. That is the ovary which is having a or a fruit which is having a thick wall, which is outer wall layer which surrounds the seeds, and that is called as pericarp anta karite. So this is what the post fertilization event which takes place in the plants, that is zygote will develop into embryo, ovules into seeds, and ovary into fruit. So these are the different fruits which consisting of seeds and the pericarp. So this is the ovule which has developed into the seeds, and the ovary of the flower which has developed into the pericarp, that is a thick wall layer which surrounds the ovule and the seeds. So here also you can see here, and these are the seeds, and this is the thick wall layer, it is called as pericarp. Okay, so this is about how the embryogenesis which takes place in the plants. So next is about how the embryogenesis takes place in animals. So in animals, the embryogenesis, it will be formed with different types. So based on the formation of the embryo, whether it is new young ones it is formed, or if the embryo will develop after the laying of eggs, so or within the pouch itself. So different types of embryogenesis can be seen in the animals. So based on that, it is categorized into three types. The first one is the oviparous animals, viviparous animals, and the third one is the ovoviviparous animals. So three types of embryogenesis can be seen in the animals. The first one is the oviparous animal, viviparous animal, and the ovoviviparous animal. So let us see the first one, oviparous animal. Oviparous animals. So these are the egg-laying animals. These are the egg-laying animals. That is the fertilized egg. They are covered by the. So oviparous animals means those are the egg-laying animals. So here the fertilized eggs, that is the zygote, which is covered by the hard calcareous shell to protect the embryo from the adverse conditions. So the egg, soon after the formation of the zygote will be surrounded by the hard calcareous shells, which will protect the zygote, and that zygote will further undergo the mitotic cell division to form the multicellular tissue system, which will further become the embryo. And this embryo, which will be developed completely within that hard shell, and soon after the complete development of the organ system, then that shell will, that is the eggs, will hatches out into a new organism. That type of embryogenesis is called as oviparous animal. So that is the ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಈ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕೇರಿಯಸ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಏನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ದಟ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ದಟ್ ಎಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಯುಬೇಷನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ embryo. So soon after the period of incubation, the egg hatches on their own and it will give birth to the new young ones. So the example is the fishes and amphibians. Amphibians are the examples for the oviparous animals. So the next one, next type of embryogenesis in animal is the viviparous animal. So viviparous animals means those are the animals which will directly give rise to the young ones. So directly give rise to young ones. Young ones of its own kind, those are referred as the viviparous animals. So viviparous animals refers a type of development in which young ones are born alive after being nourished in the uterus through placental barrier. So that is within the female body, the uterus organ which will nourishes the zygote, and it will there itself it will zygote get attached to the uterus. Then it will undergo the further division to form the embryo, and that embryo will be nourished for a certain period. So soon after the complete development of the embryo, the new young ones will come out from the female body, so in a new in a alive system. So that condition or that type of embryogenesis is called as viviparous animals. So a best example is the human beings, that is the mammals. And the human beings. So in human beings we can see the viviparous type of embryogenesis development. And the third type is the ovoviviparous. Ovoviviparous animals, or ovoviviparous type of embryogenesis. So this is a combination of both, that is oviparous and the viviparous type of animals. Both can be seen here in the ovoviviparous animal. So in this type, the animals retain, that is soon after the zygote formation, the zygote formation ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that zygote will that is the fertilized egg, it will retain in the oviduct itself. So that is the fertilized egg will get retained within the oviduct, and the fertilized eggs, so ಈ oviduct ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So egg will be formed, that is the oviparous type. So fertilized eggs are nourished by the yolk, that is the a part which is present within the shell, that is the calcareous shell ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. So that yolk which will nourishes the developing embryo, and that developing embryo young ones that are born after hatching within the uterus. So this type this type of development is called as ovoviviparous animals. That means the egg will be formed, that is the fertilized egg, the zygote, which will which is produced within the oviduct of the female body, and there it get nourished, or it will forms the calcareous shell as like the oviparous animals. Then after the development of the embryo, soon that is the embryos ಏನಲ್ಲಿ formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that will undergo the hatching process. So soon after the division, it will hatches out the shell within the oviduct. It never comes out as a egg ಆಗಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಹೆಣ್ಣಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸೂನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ egg form embryo formation, that eggs will be get inside the hatches inside the mother's body. So that is the oviparous animals produces eggs, but instead of laying them, the eggs develop and hatch inside the mother's body and remain there for a time. So after the offsprings get first nourished by the yolk from their egg sac, after hatching them, they remain inside their mother's body, where they continue to mature, and they do not have the umbilical cord as like human beings that attach embryos to their so that they are not attached to their but they are attached to their mothers, but they are not getting nutrition from the placenta, that is which to provide the food, oxygen, and the waste exchange, that will be not directly from the mother. So in that way, the oviparous animals differs from the viviparous animal, because viviparous animals ali the complete embryo development, it is nourished by the mother directly. Here it is not directly connected with the mother placental membrane, because the yolk will nourishes the developing embryo. So this type of embryogenesis is called as ovoviviparous type of animals. So examples for this ovoviviparous is few fishes like electric ray and scorpion fish and shield tailed snake and certain aquarium fishes, etc. etc. are the examples for the ovoviviparous animal. So this is how the embryogenesis which takes place in the animals by different types. One is the oviparous animals, viviparous animals, and the ovoviviparous type of animals.